time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey, guys. Welcome back and happy Tuesday. Guys, I'm so excited and grateful. I just wanted to share, and I shared it last night on Hot Messy Topics. We hit 90,000 subscribers yesterday, so we're 10,000 subscribers away from that beautiful silver play button. So thank you to all of you guys. Don't forget, it's a subscribers-only live chat as we're back to talk about 90 Day Fiance the other way. So if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you haven't hit the notification bell, well, it just gives you insight as to everything we have going on. So smash that too. With that, let's welcome Jason. Hey. Oh my gosh, so much to go over.
So much to go over. It's my favorite show of the week.
Is it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm not being
Sarcasm
facetious.
starts early.
Sometimes it's hard to watch TLC, especially 90 Day Fiance, when we hear so much about what is already going on with their relationships. So that's my only thing. But yeah.
No, I get it. Listen, life could be worse. Listen to Carrie Adams. It's a chilly 36 degrees here in Wisconsin this morning. Okay?
Oh, okay.
Just as cold here in New Jersey. LOL. Congrats, Adam. Hey, thank you. Way to go, Adam. Hey, thank you, guys. Welcome, everybody. Welcome into the room. All right, guys. So with that, 50 people already in the room before we even hit 2 minutes. That's amazing, especially for 90 Day Fiance. I want to start, Jason, with your probably least favorite couple, but I feel like you get a lot of comedic relief out of them. Okay, Ginny and Samit. All right, so we know that Samit's parents said that they were no longer going to object to Ginny and Samit getting married, right?
Right.
All right. Samit, however, is worried that the stars were not aligned properly for Ginny and himself, and so the pair met with an astrologer to make sure the timing of their union would be perfect. I thought it was funny because the astrologer told the couple at least what Ginny wanted to know and said, listen, as long as you get married 9 days from today, it's no big deal. But you can't get married inside of a temple, and you also can't get married. Well, you can't have a big ceremony because it's going to be kind of taboo. Well, right. Then we listen to Ginny. She's continuing to press on, and she's like, I want to get paid, like the papers. What do we have to do to get married? He said, well, you can go the conventional way. And so that's what they decided to do. They met up with the lawyer and signed the documents in order to get married. But then Samit dropped the ball again, and being a shady hamster, and this is shady as hell.
Shady hamster.
I've been a shady hamster before too, but not when it comes to the getting married. Could you imagine, Jason, if we went to the courthouse and then I said, yes, I'm signing the documents, and then later, like, you found out that I told the people, please don't file those documents?
No, I mean, listen, of course, the astrologer is definitely like team Jenny here, not because I think he necessarily like is picking a side. He's just trying to give them some good advice. And this has been everything Jenny's been waiting for. And we've said this for so long, this has been almost completely redundant for her because it's almost been a decade of doing this back and forth. And I say this all the time, but Samit is like snaky. He gives me snaky vibes. You catfished this woman, but at this point, at this time, it's like Jenny has a choice now. She has a choice, and she doesn't need to stay in this situation if she doesn't want to be in this situation. She's given him everything. I thought Sumit's friend made the most sense. I know you're afraid of whatever of marriage from before and getting divorced and how much that affected you. But Jenny is putting in the work. She's moved to India. She's trying to integrate into your culture. She just wants to get married. She wants that seal of commitment that you're not giving her. And at this point, she has to make the decision if she wants to keep playing this game or not, because it's too much back and forth.
We're going to get to this guy later, but Samit was giving me Steven vibes, and I agree with everything that you're saying, because Samit then tells Ginny, he tells her that he feared that Ginny might leave and return to the United States and end their marriage. He said he was shivering and shaking over the idea of another divorce, and Ginny said she understood where he was coming from because of his previous divorce and how it had been hell for him. He broke down into tears in the conversation and admitted he never wanted to lose Ginny because she's the only person in his life. And she told him This is the shit that annoys me. She said, you couldn't get rid of me if you tried. I love you so much. I love you more than anything. Don't have a doubt in your mind about me. I will love you conditionally forever. I will never stop loving you, and I will never leave you. Samit said he did absolutely everything with Jenny, including shopping, eating, and so he apparently couldn't picture a day without her. But then again, we come to find out he admitted to Jenny that he was not ready for the filing. And when he was done with the meeting, when him and Jenny were done with the lawyer, he called the lawyer and asked him to hold, like, don't file for the marriage. Well, he said that Jenny doesn't know about this, which we're going to find out that she eventually will know. And this is just, when he's saying, I'm afraid you're going to leave me. What if you go back to America? This is the same gaslighting BS that Steven's over here doing to Alina.
They're in the same situation. They're like, I love you. I want to get married. But you know what? On my terms, my time, when I feel comfortable, it's very selfish. And I don't know if these men understand what being a fiance means. If you ask someone to get married, that means you are going to get married. Otherwise, you say no.
Are you gearing that towards me?
No, you're getting married whether you like it or not. So I don't.
Okay. All right, guys, about 100 in the room. Again, go ahead, smash that like button. I don't really want to spend too much time on Jenny and Samit. I'm honestly so disappointed with this couple, and not on Jenny. At this point, Jenny's held out. She's gotten the information that she needs in order to move forward with the marriage, and he is still continuing to drop the ball and letting Jenny down. I can't wait to see her have the conversation with the woman. I believe it's in the temple, right?
The Hare Krishna temple.
The Hare
Krishna
Krishna
says
temple.
that you need to leave for him to understand.
Yes.
But hasn't she? The thing is they've been long distance for a long time. Is that going to help? Is
No.
that really? But then at the same time for Samit, it's like, why would you go through all of this drama and this process with your family, with your ex-wife's family, with just everything? Like, why would you go through this if you didn't really love her?
No, I mean, listen, I agree with you. I think it's BS.
Someone's got to make some decisions up in here.
Okay, so before we move on to the next couple, I do want to ask you, who's more cringeworthy? This man on the left or this man?
You know, I think just on a cultural level, I'd rather spend time with Samit than
Okay.
Big Ed.
Okay, guys, I'm going to ask you in the chat too, who's more cringeworthy, Samit or Big Ed? Go ahead and answer below, but I am going to move the conversation to our next couple,
I thought that was
Corey
Randall
and
for a second.
Evelyn. All right. Well, since Evelyn has agreed a few weeks prior to move forward with their wedding, Corey and Evelyn picked their wedding date, and they were shown meeting with their wedding planner. So they're trying foods. They're going to see what the venue is like. And she's telling him in the car on the way there, listen, I'm in a bitchy mood. She said, I had a bad dream about you and Jenny. And in the dream, I got super mad and I ended up hitting her. And she's going on about this whole thing. And she also raises, the concern, I don't want to get married with somebody in a religious setting. I don't want to do that, because when you get married in a religious setting, it means that you're tied to this person forever. And Corey's like, yes, Evelyn, that is the idea of marriage.
That is marriage. But here we are again, Adam. Like, it was just like a few episodes ago. They hated each other. She hates him. No matter what she says when she misses him, she hates him. This is cringeworthy. This is hard to watch, okay? So he did the due diligence. He went through the process, whatever. And then, oh my God, here we are last episode, a complete 180 of, oh, I miss him. I love him. Let's try this again. Boom. Flash to the car where she's in a bitchy mood, going in on him again, saying that she doesn't really want to get married, but you're already married, but you don't want to get married religiously because that means you can't get divorced, but you're already married. Like, I'm not understanding this. It is so toxic, and it's almost like I want to turn off the TV when I see Corey and Evelyn pop up.
Well, wow. You have some, okay.
I have opinions.
Well,
if I'm forced to watch this, I'm going to have some opinions.
Listen, we welcome him. We welcome them here, okay? But
Okay.
for Corey and Evelyn, Corey was like, I feel like you're already thinking about divorce. And, we've had friends who have had the conversation of prenups and stuff before.
Of
And
course.
they've gotten into arguments, and we've listened to both of our friends' sides, because the one who wants the prenup, the other person is like, well, I feel like you're already trying to, protect yourself, like you're already thinking of divorce. And the person who wants the prenup is like, no, I just want to make sure if this doesn't work, I'm protected. So there's always these difficult conversations and what could happen, but you would hope going into a marriage that that's not the first thing you're thinking about. However, for
Right.
Evelyn, she shared with him, listen, I'm just taking my protections in case something goes wrong. You know, I always prepare for the worst. She said that.
Girl, you just were through the worst. You just got through.
Listen, she said, I want to know where the exits are. And he's obviously stressed about, you know, getting married in order to get a divorce. And he just wants this to be perfect for her. But then she drops another bomb and she's like, wait a minute, you want the big wedding. I'm doing this for you. You put me in a position where I'm not happy. I'm not even excited to get married. So the one thing that I want, because I don't want someone who is religious to marry us, I want my sister Leslie to marry us.
Oh,
and
yes.
Like,
I would love Leslie to marry me. No,
honestly, listen, I want Leslie to marry them too.
Well, she's going to, because it's going to be great television. But okay, I'm going to play, what do you call it, devil's advocate here. If I was Corey, dealing with those sisters is like drama enough. It's like, okay, I have to deal with Evelyn. And I know he's made his mistakes. Apparently she has to, whatever, make a decision. It's like no one on this show can make decisions, from Sumit to Steven to Evelyn and Corey. But it's like, if you're going to work on this and do it, actually commit to doing it. But listen to Corey. I wouldn't want her marrying us either. She hates him. She hates him more than Evelyn does.
I mean, but also, though, she made a good point. If she said, listen, if my sister Leslie had a boyfriend and he did the same stuff that he pulled, the same stuff you pulled, I would be worse on him. And just to be fair, you know, I have a good relationship with your brother. You have good relationships with my brothers and sisters. But if we had some sort of tumultuous thing and my whole family was aware that you were cheating on me or you're running around doing whatever you wanted after finding out that we already got married, you know that you would have a bunch of people knocking on your door, right?
Of course.
Like it would be a whole production. My family would come and they would be like, okay, well, we're going to make Jason disappear. And I'd be like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Protect Jason. Harsh Reality by yours truly, Krista Marie, said, anyone want to fill them in that they are already married? So what does it even matter? Thank you.
Well, it doesn't matter. But, you know, like, again, watching the show, when you have, we're recapping what we see and not like, if, you know, like, it's like with TLC, it is so difficult. This is why I don't watch a lot of it. I call it trash living channel, because I don't really, a lot of the shows. No, I'm just saying, like, a lot of the channels are, or I'm sorry, a lot of the shows are, you know, very, very produced. We find out information way before it comes out as it's happening. But like right now, I'm putting myself, I have to do this, you know, but I have to put myself in their situations of what we're seeing and what we're allowed to see right now. But yes, they are married, but they've been married on the show this whole time.
Okay. Krista Marie said, again, they are just fake AF. We are acting 100%. Like this is such crap. You're right, Jason. I miss What Not to Wear on TLC. I like that.
Okay, so now the TLC is kind of like Bravo. You know, they have these shows that are like produced and then it gets like kind of like trashy, but we miss these shows like Say Yes, the Dress is Great, you know, What Not to Wear, just stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely.
Those are good. I feel like these networks have to have their trashy shows.
Okay. Rosemary said 136 watching, 140 at this point, only 60 likes. Guys, we're trying to get to 100,000. Smash that like button.
I hope I liked it.
Okay. Isabel, hi, Adam from LA. Hi, Isabel. Hi. Okay. All right. So I want to move on to the next couple that we're talking about today, because I always, damn it, man. And I try not to, even when I try to tone out, I always end up crying when I watch this couple. You know who I'm going with.
Of course.
Okay, so Kenny and Armando. Now, Kenny and Armando, they're about to get married, but Kenny hasn't seen all of his children in a year and a half. So he was ecstatic about their arrival, including his son, Bryson. His daughter, Cassidy, was also noticeably pregnant. We've seen her before, and she bonded with Armando's mom, or Armando's dad. I'm sorry. Actually, she bonded with both parents, really. And Kenny had to have a tough conversation with his kids. So there's a huge age gap here. We get that, but there's a lot of age gaps in marriages. So we're not going to sit here and criticize them for that. We're also 10 years apart.
We're 10 years apart. Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas are, 25 years apart.
Randall Emmett and Lala Kent are like 15 years apart.
No longer together. I don't know what's going on with that.
But I mean, listen, sometimes it can work and sometimes it doesn't. But at the end of the day, you know, he decides to sit down and share with his family, which I thought it was so interesting that Bryson has never met Armando, but he decides to sit down.
I thought that was, I just didn't catch that, but yeah, you're right. That's crazy.
No, I mean, he's met the daughters, but the daughters and the kids, they all had valid points. You know, I'm listening to it and I'm thinking in my head, Kenny, we get that you're a dad and you're moving on and you have this new life in Mexico, but then I'm watching the kids and my heart breaks for them even as adults. I was reading Twitter and comments and they're like, grow up. You guys are adults now. It's just your dad. Let him be happy and move on with his life. But at the end of the day, come on. He was such
stay off Twitter. Everyone should stay off Twitter.
I can't help it. Sometimes I read it.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy. I always bring up tweets in my shows, but the things people say and that comes out of their mouth are just so ridiculous.
They get vile.
On this situation, though, I understand. I think Kenny is being an amazing partner by saying, you know, Armando has dreams and ambitions too, and I can't take that away from him. And really kind of playing into, they have an age difference, and that's just how it's going to be. I think that's very thoughtful as a partner, especially because Kenny has already explained to Armando his kind of holdbacks with that.
Right.
But I also understand where the kids are coming from. You know, you have a grandchild, you have Hannah, and the families are blended already, it seems. And I understand their concern. Like, I think I would be concerned even, you know, with my dad being passed. You know, I don't know if my mom is ever going to date someone, but even that would be hard for me. So I can imagine, like, hey, we're going to have children again. You're going to have another sister and brother.
I'm so well versed in being a stepson. Like, I've had so many step parents. Like, I know when I like them, how to treat them. I know when I don't like them, how to run them off. Like, I am king stepchild. But it would be so crazy to see, because Jason, a lot of people don't know this, but Jason is very, I think you're very critical about how you respond to people who are introduced in your family. Like, you want to know about them. You want to know if there's any weird red flags. You get in their business. Like, your brother's worse than you are about it because your brother really like dives in and lays it on thick. But you come off like, okay, what's up? And it's kind of scary. So if your mom ever does introduce somebody, I'm going to maybe skip out on that trip and I'll catch the second trip because I don't want to, I get uncomfortable. Whereas like I walk in and I'm like, okay, listen, I understand that you're probably getting with my mom or my dad, but at this point, I'm an adult. I don't give a shit. Just treat them right. If you don't treat them right, then I'm going to have a big problem. My brother's 6'4", he's like a bouncer, so we're going to take care of it. That's all. Okay. Well, getting back to Kenny and Armando, you know, this conversation, by the way, Glitter Girl, I agree with you. Kenny's kids feel replaced and invisible. I definitely agree with that. And
especially now that he's spending so much time down in Mexico, which I understand, but it's kind of like, okay, we kind of lost our father in a sense because they were so close and always together. I totally understand how they feel. They have to feel left out.
Well, you know, too, and Val Porter, Adam knows how to run off step parents. Hilarious.
That's true. That's
yes,
true.
I
There's
do.
a lot of stories going with that.
Yes, I do. Okay. 160 in the room, guys. Smash that like button. But for Kenny, when he's telling his daughter, especially, you know, when he's talking, I believe her name is Taylor. Wasn't her name Taylor?
Listen,
yeah.
I have a hard...
No, it was.
Right?
It was Taylor. So when he's
telling...
Okay,
the other girl's name who came to visit, though, what was her name?
Cassidy.
Cassidy? Okay.
Yes. So there's Cassidy and Taylor, and when he's telling them, Taylor's having a breakdown. And what was interesting to me was this original breakdown when she started crying, she thought it was because he was adopting Hannah. So that already struck a chord with her. But then when she found out, oh, wait, you want to adopt a whole nother person? Like you want to have a baby, but your daughter's having a baby? You already don't see Cooper? What? So you're going to have this whole other family? That's when it really hit her hard. A personal situation for me. My dad, I had a former stepmom and she was batshit nuts, like off the rocker. And she got hooked up with a guy in high school and then the guy disappeared. Well, she had a kid who didn't have a dad for a long time. And then when she married my dad, within the first 3 months, she was pushing my dad to adopt this kid. This kid was a complete psycho.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like the craziest, weirdest, just most strange was like you watch him and then you see some investigates and like you're like, oh shit, he ended up going off the rocker and doing crazy stuff. And that makes sense. That's the kind of person I thought he was. So I used to tell Dad, please don't adopt this kid. Please, what are you thinking? And he would tell me, son, it's none of your business. Back off. And I would think in my head, it is my business. I used to always tell him, I'm like, no, you're making him family. And it would piss me off. And I wasn't accepting of it. I wasn't an adult. I was still a kid, but I was not accepting of it. So I feel like I can relate to Taylor in this sense.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, it's not as, crazy as that, but it takes some understanding,
right?
And it's, I don't know, that's a hard position to be in. Someone's going to have to kind of, compromise there.
Well, Krista Marie, thank you. I have a batshit nuts family, so I can't say anything. I get it, Adam. LOL. Thank you, Krista. Somebody gets it. Somebody gets it. But one thing that I really enjoyed about the Kenny and Armando situation, even though it wasn't this part, but Kenny and Armando, it looks like Armando's family showed up. I love the way that we see the cousins interact with Kenny. Everyone really seems to be embracing him except for the father, but the father's trying. We can tell in, I think Jason can understand this. I can understand this as being, people who came out to our fathers who were macho men, right? My dad is, Jason's dad was, Armando's dad is very much so a macho man. So you almost wonder, are you embarrassed of this? Did you think you were going to have that son that was going to be like the business guy or working out with his hands in the field that was going to have this beautiful wife? Like, what were your thoughts? And I'm so sorry that I'm disappointing you. And I can see where Armando is raising, those questions. And I hate that it's affecting how he feels on his big day, because he said he woke up with knots in his stomach because he doesn't want his family to be grossed out when they share their first dance and their first kiss as a married couple. My heart breaks for them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so sad.
I do have to say, though, it does to, a family that can take a lot for some people. And I know it's very easy to say, well, if you don't accept me, then, F off, you can't. Sometimes it takes time for some people. I have family members where it took time for them too, and now it's all great, so I love that Armando's dad showed up. At least he's there. And his mom mentioned he showed up because of the message that Armando wrote that Kenny said, send him a text, put it in writing so he can go back and reread it and see how you feel. And I think that was great advice from Kenny. And I'm glad that dad, it worked and he came and he's trying. And I think, again, he's met Cassidy before. Now he's seeing all of the family together. He's seeing the grandson. It's just, it's great when you can see the family functioning together. It kind of maybe takes some of those, I don't know. Yeah. Concerns like away, if that makes sense.
No, definitely. Because I think one thing that they can say whatever they want about the relationship. They might not agree with it. They might wish that Kenny was a young woman, but I know that one thing that's important to this family, because we can see it, is the core value of being a big, close family. And if anything, Armando is showing us that his family is very close. And watching Cassidy, because they panned over to her, like engaging in the conversation with Armando's dad, you can see that the kids are really trying to make this work and put in an effort. And that made me happy for Kenny and Armando. You just really don't know what you're going to get. And I am hopeful that his dad does end up coming around. I think this is going to be a piece by piece situation, but good call for Kenny, who told Armando to send the text to his dad, because he said
very smart.
Yeah, because the dad's going to have to reread the text. The funny thing is, Jason and I did something similar. Jason sent an email to his family to come out. I sent a group text to my whole family and turned my phone off.
I didn't. So as some people knew, but I always felt like too, I don't have to come out. Like there doesn't have to be a part where I have to open a door to a closet or whatever. Like you just should know me, and there shouldn't be this one day, when he came out. I've always been gay, so I can't say, and I know that a lot of people have always known, but it's like, what is it for? Is it for you to actually get a check mark by me or what? I never felt like I had to have that. But the reason I wrote an email specifically to my mom is because when you get her on the phone or in person, she doesn't listen. She has to read. So if you want something important to get through to Janet, you have to send her an email. Like today, I sent her flight information for tomorrow because I know she'll read it. But if I tell her, be at the airport tomorrow at 9 a.m., you're going to miss your flight because you're not going to listen to me.
Okay.
And I'm probably going to be punched in the face right when she gets here.
Yeah. All right, Janet, I can't wait to watch that. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and move on to the next couple, because we do have a few other ones to get through. I want to bring up this next couple they're interesting to me. And if I were watching the TV show, and like you said earlier, sometimes the spoilers suck because then it ruins it for us. Just like how I feel about Paris in Love, because she got married after the premiere episode, when I'm like, what the because the whole
Still
premise
fun to
of the
watch,
show-
though. I think it's still going to be fun to watch. I mean, we knew that was coming up anyway, even before they announced the show.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but we didn't know the whole premise of the show is, do I want to get married? Am I getting cold feet? Am I not? And then you get married after the first episode. I mean, come on. Even though we're still going to watch it and cover it, it does make me think like, okay, well, now I know the ending to this story. Like, you know what I mean?
This is why live streaming would be so amazing. Let's live stream this show. You don't want to be edited. If you want to know what's really going on, I need a reality person to live stream it. Or put it up the same day or something like YouTube.
But then we would get a lot of the tedious BS that we don't want to see.
Well, that's reality.
Well, yeah, but I mean, you get annoyed watching an hour and a half episode. Like you want to get to the point.
God,
So I don't know how you
TLC
would
is
do it.
like, I can't,
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and bring up Corey and Evelyn. Just kidding. Ariella and Binium. Ariella and Binium, well, she made it back to Africa. And when she did, she's definitely on the fence. She's uncomfortable. She's heard word from Binium's sister Wish. There have been multiple people in and out of the house. She even went as far as to get a translator, so there wasn't any communication that was lost. And she's not the only one who has a bone to pick with Binium. However, her mom, even though she had a conversation with Binium, I have to give credit to her mom. If I was in this situation, my mom always leans in Adam's favor. She's like, my baby can do no wrong. Adam is perfect. Don't worry. This person, you don't need them. Ask Jason. I am like for mom's eyes. Love you, mom. But for Ariella and Binium, her mom could easily sway her and be like, Ariella, I don't believe anything that he's saying. I think you'd be better off in the United States. What are we doing here? Let's get real. And that's not what she's doing. She said, I want to form my own opinion. I'm going to take him out. Let's have a conversation and let's have the translator there. She told him, listen, Ariella, she got a lot of word that you had people in and out of the house while she was gone. She spent 2 months crying at her house. We were very upset about it. We didn't like how she was acting, and we didn't like how you were communicating with our daughter. He said, listen, it's one big miscommunication. For me, I work in music. Okay, that's a new one. I work in music, and I turned our house into a studio. So when you turn your house into a studio, you're getting creative, and there's different guys and girls that come and go all times of the day. It's like, right. Okay, wait a minute.
What kind of music are you making?
Yeah, what kind of music are you making? But there is still a language barrier, and he's trying to explain it to her, and she's giving him the benefit of the doubt. And she's like, okay, well, I do have one important question for you. Did you ever cheat on Ari? And he says, no. But he said it, if you looked at his face, he said it with like this grin. He's like, no. And
well, also, like, when Ariella confronted him about certain things too, he said, I don't want to talk about it anymore. I just want to focus on us. Like that, you cannot do that. You can't just put it aside or whatever. Like, I definitely think he might have cheated. Okay, first of all, yes, she like nags on him all the time, but also he is doing a lot of things that I don't think, if you're serious about having a relationship, and this has happened to you before with where a woman has taken a kid from you, maybe you want to try to do things differently than you did last time. But in the same sentence, I can say that, Ariella, why would you bring Leandro around? Because it just seems like you're playing games, and now you're both playing games, and now it becomes toxic. But we do know that they're still together.
Right.
So,
well, Marcia said Benny is lying. Okay. Mo Ivory said, I love Jason's comment. Adam, you are marrying Jason whether you like it or not. Oh, yeah, thanks. Being held against my will, I appreciate that. Mary Lavin said, I think she's really manipulative and will never let him go easily. And then Carrie Adams said, Ariella's parents have been nothing but supportive to them both. I agree. I also think for some reason something feels off the way he's explaining this, like from the disconnecting your phone to moving the baby stuff out of the room to not being able to be contacted, putting your stuff on Do Not Disturb, having multiple people in and out of your house, and having your family contact your wife.
As well as I know, this would not work for us. If your phone isn't on when I call, you're getting texts and no, that's not going to happen.
I just went to go get you coffee and I called you 3 times and you didn't answer. So do you want to?
But you were downstairs. That's very different. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But especially if we had a kid and I was far away and there was, a health situation that you're dealing with your child, and I need to communicate or talk to you, but you're not answering your phone conveniently because you need to feel better about yourself and your friends need to take you out, and you put away all the baby stuff so you can make music. It's weird. Like, it wouldn't work for me. So I understand her frustrations as well. I also understand his, but I don't think he's grown up, and I don't think she's grown up.
You know, I have to add into this. One of the major problems that Ariella's mom took away from Binium in this conversation was he admitted that, you know, Ariella doesn't like when he goes to certain places. She doesn't like when he goes out to the club. She doesn't like when he spends time with certain friends. So instead of having to explain it to her because he wants to do what he wants to do anyways, he lies to her. And then she catches him in a lie. And then that makes it worse because she finds out that I can't trust you because he's trying to protect himself from being in this fight. But really, it's just backfiring him and getting him into more shit. And I think that the mom's advice was great. She's like, you cannot do that. That is not going to be good for your relationship. That is going to be the nail in the coffin in your relationship. But when Ariella asked her mom in front of Binium, which is so awkward because they're having a conversation about him with him sitting right there, she's like, do you believe what he said? And he said, the mom said, yeah, I believe him. I think that as long as he learns to face the music right away, don't lie, I'm optimistic that both of you guys can move on and have a good relationship. I think that you guys both just have some growing to do and you both need a little bit of change implemented in your lives. And I was like, boom, both of you grow the hell up and let's move on.
Yeah, but they're both going to have to change. First of all, you saw how much Leandro bothered Binium. That bothered him. It's the same thing when he goes to a club or does music production or turns off his phone. I mean, yeah, they both have to grow up at this point. You're right.
I mean, this is a good point too. If he is lying, then what else is he lying about? That's the thing is when it only takes, my dad always told me this growing up. He always said it takes your whole life to build a reputation and it takes literally 2 seconds to rip it apart. Yep. And that's so true because if this is the foot that you're leading with and there's no trust already, you feel like it's easier to lie to her. And we've seen Sumit, he does the same thing. His dad taught him, well, just lie about it because it's easier and then you won't have to fight. It's like, this is not a good rule of thumb. Stop lying about shit because if you stop lying about it, then you will have one less thing to fight about. If you know that you have to lie about it, then why go do it in the first place? That doesn't make sense. Sorry, I'm getting passionate about this.
You're passionate. You're a passionate person.
Okay. I don't know if you're throwing digs at me or if you're being serious. Okay.
I slept last night. I feel good. Like I feel like I have energy.
Yeah, you weren't in a bad mood this morning.
No. Well, you were. You were kind of in a bad mood.
No, I was not.
Yeah, you needed to because you doing that diet thing where you like always kind of like
it's almost over.
Hangry, a little ornery.
My diet is over on Thanksgiving. Okay. And well, for those 3 days, and then it's back on.
So it's back on because
enjoy those 3 days.
You have a big shoot.
Okay. All right. We're going to move on to Ellie and Victor. I believe this is our last couple of the night because I don't think that we saw Steven and Alina. If we did, we didn't see very much of them. Well, maybe we did. I don't know. I feel like we didn't see very much of them. But Ellie and Victor are still working on their house in Providencia Island in Colombia after the hurricane. Now, Victor decides to take Ellie into the house where he was with his mom and his sister and with their dog. And he shows exactly where they were sitting under the cabinets when this hurricane happened, showed us the roof, showed us the damage. It was absolutely terrible. You know, knowing and seeing this island, and I was just trying to get an idea of how beautiful Providencia Island was before this hurricane. So I was Googling images and I was looking at the houses and I was looking at, you know, the locals and the different bars. And I was like, wow, this really was a great tourist spot. This was, you know, not only a great island for those who live there, but a great place for people to go visit because it's so beautiful. And then watching the devastation on 90 Day, I'm like, it breaks your heart because like Ellie was saying, she had a plan. And this is where they're differing a little bit. She's talking about this plan of, I wanted to come here, bring a little bit of money that I had. I was thinking we were going to start a bar, open up a shop, and we were going to live on this beautiful island while making money off the tourists. And he's like, okay, well, I don't know how long it's going to take to repair everything. And she's like, all right, that throws a wrench into our plans. So now what are we going to do for money? He said, you don't think I didn't survive before during the pandemic? And when all of this other stuff was happening, I didn't survive. And she said, yeah, you survived because I sent you money. Yeah. And it's not connecting. And this is one of the biggest fights in a relationship is money. And, you know, when she's trying to explain to him that it's still important, his argument is it's not everything. He's like, I want to have kids with you. She's like, okay, I don't know if I can have kids.
Money.
Exactly. She said, I don't know if I can have kids. We're trying, right? Because we're already doing the damn thing. But I don't know if I can have them. If we do, how are we going to take care of them? Because that takes money. And he's like, not everything is about money. That's true. But it's also something really important you have to keep in mind. Like, if you're going to bring a child into this world and you're going to plan for it, and it's not, you know, oops, I'm pregnant and I wasn't expecting this. But if you're actually planning for it, then it makes sense for her to think in her mind, well, how are we going to take care of it? Am I wrong?
Yeah. No, you're not wrong at all. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I slowly feel like she's listening to that voice in the back of her head that, you know, it's an unfortunate situation. It's a devastating situation that, you know, the hurricane came through, destroyed the home. That is a lot. So now, not only are you dealing with infidelity, everything has been kind of stripped away. Your plans have been stripped away. The home has been stripped away. His family's homes have been stripped away. It's a lot to deal with, and it doesn't seem like they can come to some kind of common ground for the moment. And I almost feel like they need to take a break for a second. And he can figure some stuff out. If she wants to remain supportive financially, she can. That would be a way to help because I just see her staying there with all the frustration and you know, stuff that has happened. That's a lot to deal with. And they're just going to keep arguing.
Well, you know, and the topic of money, like I just said, it still is a big deal. And when they have the conversation about money, it turned into an argument. And she's accusing Victor of denying what's right in front of him with all of this. Like, money is still a part of the conversation. She called him stubborn. And then Victor told Ellie, I think you have a money problem. All you think about is money and how something is too expensive or how much something is going to cost. And he said, I don't care about the money. I can make money by playing music on the island. And she was like, you don't get it. And I'm thinking in my head, this is a cultural difference here. He's saying that he'll play music in order to make money. It's kind of giving us that vibe that, you know, whatever we have to do to get by. If
there were tourists, if there was tourism happening instead of rebuilding, I don't know who rebuilding their home is going to give you money to play music. Like, it's, right. You know, there's the tourism isn't happening right now.
Right. Exactly. And
at the moment.
And honestly, I don't know. This is one of the couples that I don't know what the future holds for them. Like, I don't have any insight. We know that we've seen Ellie photographed back at the pizza shop, but was she visiting? Did she just go back to America? Did she bring Victor back? Like, we don't have, thank God though, because it would ruin it. Like, if I knew what was happening with every couple, I would probably be a little annoyed. So I
almost know what's happening with every couple.
Right. Almost every couple, but I'm glad at least there's still
borderline annoying.
There's like a big question mark over this couple still, which makes me happy. But for Ellie and Victor, at the end of the day, I think that somebody just said it in the comments before. Someone said, I think that she is kind of in it for this fairy tale, but she didn't realize once she got there how much work it was actually going to take. And Mary Lavin said, Victor is traumatized. He will break her heart and string her along till he gets more money. And I think she is waking up to it. All right. Different cultures, different values doesn't look good for longevity. And then last one, Lisa H said, it's a good thing this happened this way. The way the relationship has to come up front and center instead of hiding all of the garbage, hiding the beauty and mystique of the island. Okay. All right, guys. Well, with that, I believe, unless I missed something, I don't remember seeing. I don't remember seeing Steven and Alina.
Because I know Ellie and Victor have had a few episodes off.
Guys, did we see Steven and Alina in this episode? And if we did, was my face just in my phone? I don't know. Sometimes if I'm really not like digging an episode, I'll go on and I'll just randomly look at houses that I can't afford. I look at vacations I'm never going to buy. I look at Black Friday deals, and then I come back into it and I'm like, oh shit, I'm supposed to be watching this and taking notes.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Anyway, No turkey. Steven and Alina, I mean, we're going to be at the same spot with them. That's another Jenny and Sumit story. I don't know how long it's going to be dragged out, but then like we've heard and we know, apparently Steven is hanging out with family Chantal or some crap like that.
Which I don't. What? Okay.
And then Alina has been seen in Greece already. I don't know. She needs a real man.
Question for you.
Yes.
Who would you rather watch? Steven and Alina? Or Angela?
Angela, of course.
Okay.
But she gives me crazy. Like Steven gives me like crazy and like, oh God, are you okay, dude? Not like crazy funny.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Do you all watch the Tropical 90-Day Fiance? I haven't watched it yet. I wish Adam and Jason a great visit with mom. Yes, she will be in town, and then the week after my mom's coming in town.
No, the week after we go to Thanksgiving, and then your mom comes in town, and then it's Christmas. Everything is just like coming together, and then you go to LA, and then we have all of this crap coming up. Good stuff. It's all good stuff. So we just have to like.
And then Jason and I are starting a new exciting project outside of YouTube.
You cannot say that anything though. You cannot say anything.
We're sharing it in December.
Yeah, we haven't signed anything yet. But you have a big project coming up too, which is going to take place next spring. I'm so excited.
Yes. Guys, I can't wait to share it. There's a lot to share with you guys, but as of now, we're 41 minutes in. Thank you so much for watching. I'm dropping another pre-record in the next few minutes. And also, we will be back tonight, hopefully, for Hot Messy Topics at 6 p.m. Eastern, which is 3 p.m. Pacific. Jason will also be back tonight for his Below Deck recap called Anchor Watch with his comedian friends See Josh Go. And that's at 11 p.m. where I will join all of you guys in the live chat. It's a subscribers only live chat. I have nowhere to go because as you see behind Jason, that is our bed. So I will be on the couch live chatting with you or in a bubble bath. Jason, before we go, can you let everyone know where we can find you?
Yes, of course you can find me at Down with Jason. I'm basically up in Adam's sister channel. We talk about some other things a little bit, but also there's a lot of change that's going to come to the channel. But right now, my favorite thing to do every week is Anchor Watch Recap Below Deck. It's at 11 p.m. I know it's late for some people, but you can always jump in the replay crew. But if you are joining us tonight, we are taking callers, and Josh is like really excited for that. So I'm super excited. It was a great episode last night, by the way. It's light. It's fun. We have fun talking about it.
Oh, Chef Rachel, I loved her. Except last night when she's like, she did have a gross moment.
You know what I don't like? I have pet peeves, right? I never, ever want to hear someone farting. I just don't want to hear that. But it was a good episode. It's a great season. There's a great cast, and there's lots to talk about, and we're going to have lots of fun tonight.
Do you remember we were on a road trip from LA to, it was like San Francisco, like Lodi, where we were going to see Pops, and I had my brothers in the car, and my brothers are closer to Jason's age than I am. You weren't in the car?
I didn't go with you and your brothers, remember?
Oh, there was another moment where we were in the car. My brother like literally did that in the car and started laughing, and my other brother looked at him and goes, "Bro, what the f is your problem, you dirty king hamster?" And like Jason starts laughing. My brother thought it was funny, and then all of a sudden he looks at all of us and we're like, that shit's not funny. That's gross. And he's like, "Sorry guys, sorry, I didn't mean to do it." But we're like, no, make sure you know now. Don't do that shit around here. Bunny, Adam may be the hardest working man on YouTube. Hey, thank you. And Rhonda Lodi lived there for 5 years. Oh, all right. All right, guys. So with that, we're going to go ahead and exit off of here. We will be back later. Jason, was there anything else you wanted to add before we go?
Nope.
All right. Not a bubble bath, Mama B5. You are so wrong. Always a bubble bath.
Not a bubble bath right now.
And no, not right now. Rosemary, thank you, Adam, Jason, mods, and everyone for supporting Adam's channel. Yes, guys, thank you to all of our mods. Thank you to our comments and everyone joining in. Over 250 in the room. That's always great for 90 Day Fiance because we never know what's going to happen as we recap 90 Day. And thank you. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye, guys.